The entire foundation of Chrissy Lamon's world collapsed in real time, with no edits or cuts after everything just exploded. Camron was the man behind it all. The audio leak wasn't just messy. It was devastating, bringing up secrets that Chrissy had been burying for years. When Jim Jones heard it, he didn't argue or ask questions. Instead, he simply left the house without turning around. Let that sink in. Jim Jones, the man who supported her through cheating rumors, street wars, and TV drama, is done according to sources. Not only is it because of the leak, but it also confirms a scandal that has been simmering for years. A betrayal that goes deeper than anyone could have imagined. And this isn't just reality TV anymore. It's a complete collapse of the most contentious hip-hop love story, complete with lies, betrayal, hidden messages, and a connection between Chrissy and Camron that no one saw coming until now. You're going to hear the part they don't want going public. And once it's out, there's no turning back. Chrissy Elkin is crying over a leaked video of Camron and Jim Jones, who just got up and left as if he was finished with the whole damn saga. What's happening behind closed doors, baby? This isn't just messy, it's radioactive. Let's not pretend that this is just another love and hip-hop meltdown. No, it's much bigger. We're talking about betrayal, secrets that were never supposed to be public knowledge, and a triangle that may not only be romantic but also potentially dangerous. Sources close to this situation are saying that a private video that was allegedly shot years ago just showed Camron and Chrissy in what appears to be a very private setting. Candles are lit, whispers are being exchanged, and there is no sign of Jim Jones anywhere in sight. The timing of this leak is terrible because it comes just as Jim was allegedly finalizing a commitment to Chrissy, either another proposal or a full-on elopement situation. Depending on who you ask, and now he has vanished during a private dinner and hasn't returned any calls. Her friends are freaking out, her team is handling the damage, and Chrissy is in a wreck. One insider told us that she hasn't stopped crying since the footage hit the internet. She didn't even know it existed, Dan. She's saying it's not what it looks like, but Jim saw it and said, "I can't do this anymore." And really, can you blame him? The video is grainy and blurry, but the voices are clear as day, and the chemistry is unmistakable. Chrissy's face was devastated. But it gets even wilder because Camron hasn't denied he posted a mysterious tweet hours after the video went viral. Stoked a digital fire, and now people are wondering if this leak was even an accident, or if it was a calculated retaliation or a last-ditch effort to garner attention, because, let's not forget, Cam and Jim haven't been close for a long time. There is history, resentment, and old wounds. Some even say the divorce fallout had more to do with Chrissy than either of them acknowledged. Could this video be the missing piece of the puzzle, or is it the beginning of a brand new conflict? Let's go back to the early 2000s, when Camron, Jim Jones, and Chrissy Lamon were living that Harlem fast life of glitz, fame, and street clout. Before love and hip-hop entered the picture, Chrissy was known as Jim's girl, then his ride or die. And finally, the one who kept him down when no one else would. However, there were rumors that she wasn't always Jim's alone. And although they were never verified, fans noticed the tense side-eyes in backstage footage, dubious remarks in interviews, and even a mixtape that said, "Keep your chick close, or she might end up with the ghost." People thought it was just bars, but now it sounds like prophecy. Her proposal to Jim on national television was not just romantic. It was a historic moment of a woman stepping up and defying roles that demanded commitment. However, behind that moment were years of feeling unclaimed, unsupported, and pushed aside. And now it's like all that strength and effort just blew up in her face with one leak. Then, according to a verified source from a love and hip-hop production team, there were unseen tape scenes that never aired, where Chrissy allegedly hinted at a closer bond with Cam. There were some things she said that didn't make it to air. The source claimed that she became upset and that she felt abandoned by everyone in that circle except for one person, whom she didn't name but who we all knew was who she meant. But what if that loyalty went beyond boundaries? What if Camron wasn't just the friend who supported her? Jim has been eerily silent, posting no tweets or Instagram stories, which is unsettling for someone as outspoken and reactive as Jim. Some claim he's hiding in Miami, while others believe he's lawyering up. It's not just the footage, it's the timing. Just last week, Chrissy was on a podcast discussing second chances, trust, and how she was finally ready to start a family. She said, "Jim and I are stronger than we've ever been." Who would have thought that she would say that and then wake up to this betrayal? It's not just personal, it's public, and the streets are talking. The video is similar to the Zapruder movie, and they're slowing it down, boosting the audio, and matching tattoos to old photos. What if I told you Jim's girl was mine? Was the subject of a DM purportedly sent from Cam's burner account to a well-known gossip page months ago. At the time, it was laughed off and deleted, but now it's being reposted and dissected like gospel. And everyone is asking the same question. Was this a slow burn plan? A time bomb set to explode when it would hurt the most? Mona? Scott Chung is reportedly laughing while sipping tea. The reunion episode of a lifetime is the kind of drama that you can't write. But maybe you can, and maybe someone did. Because there's a theory that the entire scandal was scripted for clicks, contracts, and power. If that's the case, someone forgot to tell Chrissy that her tears are real. Her breakdown is genuine, and multiple eyewitnesses claim that she had a full-blown panic attack in the middle of a meeting, hyperventilating, shaking, and screaming, "I didn't do this." And give her an Oscar for acting if that's what it is. Chrissy was frozen, and their stillness felt like fans were quick to analyze every word. Even matching the audio tone to Chrissy's and the video Camron released was not only messy, but also nuclear. It included alleged voicemail recordings from years ago, in which Chrissy, in a heated voice, seemed to regret ever being loyal to Jim. Even worse, she hinted at a backup plan that had been in place all along. Thunder, every breath she took, sounded like betrayal, echoing off the walls, and she sat at the edge of the velvet couch, silently clutching her phone as if it had just destroyed her dreams. The internet detectives had been working overtime on previous clips on Love and Hip Hop. And to make matters worse, Camron posted it with a message that sent everyone into a frenzy. The comments section exploded, and Chrissy was plotting the entire time. Jim had been faithful to the wrong person, and Cam had always claimed that they were fake. Now that he had proof that it wasn't just rumors and gossip anymore, this was character assassination in 4K. Meanwhile, insiders claimed that Jim Jones had left their house in a black SUV with tinted windows, his face expressionless, and he hadn't sent Chrissy a single text since the clip. A blog that leaked shady receipts shared a screenshot of what they said was an old text exchange between Chrissy and Camron. In it, Chrissy allegedly said, "If this goes left, I know you got me." "Always had me," Cam replied with a cunning emoji. "I got you like I always did. They just don't know." The silence was louder than any scream. Wait, what are people doing? At this point, the blogs weren't just reporting. You were reloading gossip channels and setting up exclusive interviews with alleged friends of the couple. One anonymous source, posing as a hairstylist for Chrissy's friend circle, spilled tea in a now-viral TikTok. "Let's just say I've known something wasn't right too. Can't love someone and still flirt with the enemy?" Chrissy used to laugh when Cam's name was mentioned. It's as if that man wasn't in response to Chrissy's man's op. Jim Jones unfollowed both Chrissy and Camron on Instagram, petty perhaps, revealing everything. The industry began to react when Mona Scott, executive producer of Love and Hip Hop, posted a mysterious message with some truths, followed by what appeared to be indisputable proof. A resurfaced 2007 photo of Chrissy and Camron in a private Backstage setting with Cam's hand resting low on Chrissy's waist and her face too close to his ear. At the time, the photo had been disregarded, but now it was being used as the last asterisk. Even celebrities began to weigh in on the puzzle piece. For example, Remy Ma commented under a blog post titled, "Disloyalty will cost you everything." The backlash wasn't just digital, was also financial, as several brands Chrissy had partnerships with began to distance themselves. One jewelry line canceled her upcoming campaign. Another luxury wig brand she recently promoted archived all of her collaboration posts, and she released a vague statement about standing by her values and trust, claiming that she was losing deals by the hour. And Jim, according to sources close to the rapper, has been in Miami entirely off the grid. He hasn't even been seen at his regular cigar lounge or studio sessions. On day 4 of the scandal, public sympathy began to shift, and Chrissy, who was once thought of as the ride or die, was now labeled a mastermind by fans, who posted a blurry photo of him at a hotel in South Beach. Memes with titles like "Plot Twist Queen" appeared, revealing that she was the unseen antagonist of Dipset, and the drama was escalating in order to control the narrative and protect her own secrets. Camron hinted at releasing a second leak that would finish the story. Chrissy remained silent and unaccounted for every minute of that time. The internet added 10 more layers to the conspiracy, and just when things couldn't get any worse, a new rumor began to circulate that Chrissy may have been the one who persuaded Jim to sever his relationship with Cam in the first place, sowing the seeds of mistrust years ago. The question now wasn't whether Chrissy was guilty, but rather how much of Jim's life had been manipulated by her. According to insiders close to the situation, Chrissy had locked herself away at a secluded estate in the Hamptons, avoiding all press and even cutting off communication with her closest friends. By this point, it wasn't just a scandal. It was a cinematic disaster. Her name was trending on gossip pages, reaction videos, podcasts, and even late-night talk shows for the 6th day in a row. But while the world feasted on the fallout behind closed doors, Casey was exploding like never before. Cam returned to Instagram with a second live stream exactly 1 week after the first leak, this time teasing a document folder called the Final Straw PDF. The man didn't even speak for the first 30 seconds, just stared into the camera and nodded as thousands of viewers flooded the chat with "Drop it and finish her." Despite her breakdown, the public showed no mercy and was hungry for more. There's broken glass all over the floor, makeup smeared on her sheets, and she's crying all day. Then he said, "You all wanted answers, so say less. Let me tell you why Jim stopped believing in his own team, why Dipset failed, and why loyalty is a farce in this business." He displayed 2 old and grainy images, but what they seemed to depict sent social media into a complete meltdown. The first image showed Chrissy sitting next to an unidentified man in a dimly lit lounge with his arm draped over her shoulder, her eyes closed and smiling. The second image showed a hotel room door with a timestamped security camera screenshot, 5 minutes after the mystery man entered Chrissy's life. Cam failed to reveal the man's name, but Twitter did, and within an hour, Jark Mystery Man was trending with theories about who it might be. Some claimed it was a well-known music industry executive, while others conjectured it was a rival rapper who had once disparaged Jim Jones in a 2015 song. The most outrageous theory was that it was an A-list actor who had been secretly associated with Chrissy while she was in Music LA, and that she wanted half of his business music. A third anonymous source, claiming to be a former assistant of Mona Scott, released a recorded voice note in which a woman who sounded uncannily similar to Chrissy is heard saying, "Cam knows too much. I told him to never say a word. He flips. I'm done. Jim will leave me for real this time." Music, it didn't matter what was true. The damage was done. The narrative had already rewritten itself. The voice wasn't verified. But it didn't matter because the video went viral and was featured on blogs as Chrissy's in less than 2 hours. The final confession, the Reddit thread received over 3,000 comments, and fans started putting together full-length documentaries detailing Chrissy's alleged manipulation tactics over the years. Meanwhile, Jim Jones made a comeback in New York alone at a club appearance that he had been booked for months prior. But instead of rapping or performing, he stood in the VIP section with his arms folded and a drink in hand while the DJ played Dipset classics. When We Fly High came on, the crowd began chanting the Chrissy, Chrissy, and Jim. He didn't say anything, just closed his eyes. And some people said he looked like he was back at Chrissy's hideout. Reports said she was being closely watched by friends after a panic attack almost sent her to the emergency room. One nurse, speaking anonymously to a tabloid, said her blood pressure spiked dangerously. She couldn't breathe, and she kept saying, "He hates me. He'll never forgive me. It's over." Others said it looked like he was reliving every lie in slow motion. The fall was nearly unrecognizable to someone who had led New York's most dangerous circles with unwavering assurance. And just when the public thought things couldn't get much more toxic, a fourth party entered. The mess Mama Jones, Jim's outspoken, unfiltered mother, who is known for telling it like it is, went live on Facebook and verbally and emotionally dragged Chrissy by her weave. "I was told that she wasn't right, and you called me a hater. Think I didn't see the little sneaky looks and the secret conversations? Now you see what I saw in the comments. Savage Mama Jones was right all along. This woman tried to protect her son, and you guys made fun of her. Don't miss, it was the last nail in Chrissy's public image. Years for a ring suddenly seemed to be the reason she never got one, and with all that smoke, guess who reappeared? Mona Scott was allegedly getting ready to re-Reddit and re-release old Love and Hip Hop footage with new context in a leaked email that was obtained by a shady media outlet. According to the unnamed editor, she wanted to drop a scandal and cut things they couldn't air back then. Now that it's game time, this wasn't just about betrayal. It was about rebranding history. At the same time, brands weren't just severing their relationship with Chrissy. They were suing one fashion collaboration and demanding their $60,000, while Chrissy was still missing. Someone close to her allegedly attempted to contact Jim with a handwritten letter that leaked to the Shade Room. The letter read, "I don't want forgiveness. I want the truth to stop being weaponized. I wasn't perfect, but I never meant to destroy you. I loved you even when I lost myself. Was it real or fake?" Fans were divided, with half feeling sorry for her breakdown and the other half saying, "Too late. Advance back claimed image damage." And another partnership filed a cease and desist to prevent Chrissy from claiming she was their ambassador. The man who had stood by her side through thick and thin, Jim, was seen days later without his engagement ring. If the rumors are accurate, record labels and streaming services are already contacting him to tell his side of the story in a full-fledged documentary series. Chrissy is still hiding and silent, and Camron is still trolling. He posted one final meme with the caption, "Love doesn't pay attention." And with that, the internet crowned Cam the king of petty, Jim the victim, and Chrissy the blueprint of betrayal. It's just turmoil instead of closure.